Hola, mi amigos! Le padre de la cult habla now. I have no idea what I just said there. I just figured if I speak a little more Spanish in these videos every now and then, I'd be more relatable to my Latino viewers. But I wouldn't be surprised if I just drove them all off. Well, mierda. Huh. Almost forgot my Blade Runner light again. Anyway, let's get to the matter at hand here, which are 5 movies that scarred me as a kid. For life. Okay, there's probably a couple that don't affect me anymore, but there are a couple that do. 40 years old and still traumatized by some stupid little horror movie I saw as a kid. Oh, these are all horror movies. Actually, there's one horror comedy there too, so But sometimes we laugh to mask our pain. Yeah, okay, let's get into this video. The first movie I have on this list that scarred me for life as a kid. Let's get this over with, because I've talked about this movie so many times on this channel. Everyone's probably getting bored already. You know, it's gonna be Jaws.
I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chump some of this shit.
Fucking Jaws. I saw this as a kid. I was like 6 or 7 years old or something, and Jaws was on TV. I think we even had VHS. It was one of those recorded from TV VHS, so you know it wasn't even original. But yeah, I saw Jaws, and this is the movie that fucked me up for the rest of my life. Probably the worst. There is one other contender, but it didn't fuck me up quite in this way. To this day, games that have underwater levels, if they have sharks in them, that's a huge no. If they have big ocean there and you don't know what's there, even if you know there's no sharks, I don't care. If I see a big fish, that's a big no. If there's like tight spaces, you know, that are like, I don't know, underwater corridors or something like that, then maybe, yeah, I can do those, you know. Sometimes I can push myself through games with water in them, you know, if I know it's not gonna be the whole goddamn game. Now when it comes to movie sites though, yeah, these days I'm surprisingly cool with sharks. There is that extra level of intensity and excitement I get, but that usually goes off because, well, have you seen shark movies? Shark movies after the first Jaws are usually kind of shit. I mean, the sharks look kind of shit. There have been a couple of, you know, good ones I like, but, well, like Deep Blue Sea, that's an entertaining shark movie, but the sharks don't look good. Also, the sharks can reverse in that movie, so yeah, that's immediately like, okay, this is gonna be a comedy. It almost is, kinda. But there are a few more serious shark attack movies out there. The Reef was one, I saw that. I was hungover when I watched that, so I don't remember it that good, but I think it was good. People have been saying it's really good, so I should probably watch that again. Then there was that one, was it 47 meters below or something, where the guys get stuck at the bottom of the sea and from what I remember, it was alright. It was alright. I think The Reef was better. But again, I watched a lot of these movies hungover. That's actually kind of how I did therapy for shark movies for myself. I watched a lot of shark horror movies while I was hungover. I don't know what it was, but it kind of made it easier to watch those then, so you know, that was a good time for a therapy session with shark movies. But shark games can go fuck themselves. I did that review of Maneater. It was Maneater, yeah, that shark game that came a couple of years ago. Loved it. You play as a shark in that, so that one didn't feel that bad, except the final area of the game, which is actually kind of, you're out in the sea, and I really had to push myself to get through that. Actually kind of proud that I finished that game, and I loved it. It was a great game. It was a fun game. But like the first week I played that game, it could be 2 weeks, I was so tired because I had so many nightmares about sharks. No, it was crazy. I mean, I went to bed, I was really tired, I didn't even fell asleep, but when I closed my eyes, all I could see is that big dark blue goddamn ocean. Yeah, you never know what's in there, and once I fell asleep, that's when the sharks came in. Playing through that game was one of the worst mentally straining experiences of my life. I mean, it was just, I went to bed, at one point I was like, I don't even want to sleep, I'm just gonna play through this game and I'm gonna be awake until I forget the whole goddamn game, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. It really fucked me up. Only reason I could play through that game was because you played as a shark, so that kind of made it easier, because you were the one doing the eating, but there were still other sharks and, you know, those killer whales and all those. Jaws really screwed me up. Second movie I have on this list, I actually don't have that in physical form. It's been on my shopping list and I've ran across it a couple of times, but I never just pulled the trigger. I want it at some point, but I don't know. It's actually one of those anthology movies that have, you know, different stories in it. This one had 3. I don't actually remember the 2 first ones. Well, the first one had James Woods in it, I think. Or was it RoboCop? I know him. I'm just forgetting the name. Peter Weller. But I think it was James Woods. I'm not 100% sure. The second story in that, I don't remember anything. Oh, by the way, the movie's name was Cat's Eyes.
Experience a series of electrifying adventures as seen through Stephen King's Cat's Eyes.
The third story had Drew Barrymore as a child, back in the 80s when she was just a child. But every night she went to bed and there was this little troll that came from some crack on the wall or something. I don't know, maybe it was a mouse hole or something, but... There was little troll that came, it climbed onto her bed and went onto her chest and kind of sucked the air out or the soul out or something. I don't remember, but yeah, when I saw that first time, I don't even remember how old I was. But I remember that fucking troll. I remember that scene where the troll is sucking the air or the life out of Drew Barrymore and the troll had a little like sword or something. I really need to get that movie, but yeah, I was freaked out. I think I watched that all the way through though. I think I was just kind of flipping channels one night. I was at my grandma's place and over there when they went to sleep, I could still watch TV. Now that I think about it, it wasn't probably the smartest thing to do, but yeah, I was flipping channels and I think I just saw the last story. I've never watched that movie all the way through. That's why I want to get it. It's Stephen King thing. I always like Stephen King stuff, you know, the older movies at least, you know, they're always great. But yeah, it was just something about that troll. I don't know, maybe I was around 5, 6, 7, same as Jaws, because that's when I got most of my traumas. So I was just really young and I saw that goddamn troll and yeah, I was fucked. No sleepy time for little Speedy that night. But I can't really remember anything else about it. That troll. I want to see it again. I want to see that movie all the way through again. Next movie I got, this one fucked me up for quite a while too, for a longest time, and I have this physically and I just rewatched this actually this year, I think earlier this year, and it's more kind of funny nowadays and I really enjoy this movie, it's great. Yeah, it's technically so bad it's good, but as a kid, it was so goddamn frightening. And the movie I'm talking about is Hopea Luoti. The English name is Silver Bullet. I have the Finnish cover, so yeah, Stephen King's Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet, the last glimmering hope.
Thanks, Stephen. You really fucked me up as a kid. Hope you're happy. Go eat a bag of shit. But yeah, Silver Bullet, werewolf movie if you didn't get that from the Silver Bullet, because silver bullets are usually used to kill werewolves. And this was so goddamn freaky as a kid. I never even finished this back then. I was watching this movie, if you've seen this, there's the church dream scene that happens. Everyone in the church is starting to turn into werewolf and at that point, nope.
Reverend, he was torn apart!
Little me at that point turned the TV off, go to bed, and just stare at the ceiling and try to survive my own imagination that night. Now, Silver Bullet werewolf movie, it's a small town and there's a werewolf that kills once every month, and the book was it was like the whole year. It was a year of the werewolf or something like that. The book was, I don't remember. I read that book actually when I was at school, probably like 8th, 9th grade, somewhere around there. Really enjoyed the book, but never wanted to go back to this movie. This one kind of fucked me up. I couldn't watch werewolf movies after this for the longest time. The transformation scenes, they were way too much. Nowadays, they're all CGI and they look like crap, so I got no problem. Actually, I do watch these old werewolf movies these days too, but the transformations are way more gruesome in movies like this or Howling or well, probably the most famous one is American Werewolf in London. Practical effects, they beat CGI's ass 99 times out of 100, especially when it comes to werewolf transformation shit. It just looks so much goddamn better and brutal and gruesome and all that. But yeah, I watched this again as an adult, like probably a few years ago, probably like 10 years ago could be, somewhere around there. And this year I watched it again also. It's kind of funny. I mean, you have Gary Busey wrestling a werewolf at the end, so how terrifying can that be? I mean, well, not wrestling, more like, you know, a little tussling. Is tussling a word? Yeah, tussling is a word, and it fits here. But it was just so goddamn funny in my opinion, you know. Gary Busey. Tussling with a werewolf. But overall, I really do like this movie. It's one of my favorite werewolf movies. I should do my top 5 werewolf movies list or something like that. This one's kind of weird. It feels kind of like it has that childlike adventure feel to it, because the main character is Corey Haim. was it? It's not the other Corey. There were two Corys, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. Yeah, Corey Haim, and he's this kid in a wheelchair, and yeah, it feels kind of like if Goonies had werewolves. It has that kind of childlike adventure feel to it. I mean, not the level of Goonies when it comes to the adventuring part, but also at the same time, it's pretty gruesome. Some of the kills in this one, where the werewolf is killing someone. It's kind of nice mix. I dig it. I feel like this is a kids movie for the really edgy kids you wanna fuck up for the rest of their lives. So yeah, I'd actually kind of recommend this as kind of family night if the kids are a bit on the older side, probably not like 5 or 6 or anything, but or actually watch this first, because it does have gory moments, but I don't know, it felt like gory movie for kids, kind of in a fun way. I'm probably just fucking up kids here, because now people are gonna go, hey, man on YouTube recommended this, so, and now there's gonna be comments there, who's gonna pay for my little Timmy's therapy for the rest of his life, and shouldn't listen to everything you hear on YouTube. I love it, it's great, it's kind of so bad it's great, but it does have gory moments, but I don't know, it has that adventurous feeling to it too, in my opinion, it's just, Fourth movie I have is one that, this one kind of fucked me up for a long time too. Weirdly, I do think this is one of the best tragic love stories out there also. It is the grossest love story out there, definitely. By far. It is considered horror movie, not love story. It's got love story that is kind of carrying the movie from start to finish that makes it feel all the more horrific and tragic. And the movie I'm talking about is The Fly.
You are about to go beyond that limit.
Now if you know this movie, you know it's gross. It's really gross, and that's understating it. This is probably the grossest transformation in any movie out there, ever. I mean, yeah, some of the old werewolf movie transformations, they were really gross too, but they were kind of flash in the pan, they were quick. This fucking movie, it follows Jeff Goldblum turning into a goddamn human fly. Throughout this whole movie, he just kind of slowly decomposes and starts turning into a fly. The nails drop, he pukes on donuts because he needs to melt them and eat them. Teeth dropping, all that.
Everything about you is changing.
Oh no. What's happening to me? Am I dying?
Still one of my favorite body horror movies, but as a kid, when I saw this, again, I don't remember, I was around there 6, 7, 8. I just started watching this movie and I really didn't know. It should have been a good hint when there was the arm wrestling scene where Jeff Goldblum breaks that one guy's arm and this bone just sticks out. That was great. Still this day, it's really great looking effect. I love it. Then he just throughout the movie starts turning into a fly thing, little by little, and every time after he's done his teleportation experiment in this movie, which kind of fused him with a fly, just every scene after that he looks grosser and grosser and starts kind of losing stuff from his body because the fly part is kind of growing inside him, turning him into human fly he is, or will be. It's just... couldn't finish this. Yeah, as a kid, I couldn't finish this. The scene where I said, fuck it, I ain't watching this anymore, is the scene where Gina Davis' character is in that hospital and just suddenly, blam, the fly comes crashing through a window and takes Gina Davis and takes him back into his house. Yeah, at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this. I want to sleep at some point during the rest of my life. So yeah, fuck this. Screw this. It did take me probably like 15 or 20 years when I watched this again and loved it. It's so awesome movie. Just a tragic love tale it has. But man, that transformation from start to finish, it's still gross. And still when I watched this between 20s and 30s, I still kind of flinched when the fly came through the goddamn window, even though I knew that was gonna happen. Now I watched it again and now it's kind of like, here he comes. I guess I'm too desensitized or whatever the word is. When you watch too much gross shit doesn't feel that gross anymore. Great movie. Love it. And now we get the last movie that fucked me up real good as a kid, which is actually horror comedy. But you see, the thing is, I don't like all bugs. Fuck flies. Well, I don't care about flies. Whenever there's fly in my house, I show my cats to it, and if the fly wins my cats in a fight, well, the fly deserves to live. Now when it comes to spiders though, might have guessed the movie already. The movie is called Arachnophobia. But if there's a spider in my house, well, I introduce my cats to the spider. But if the spider was to win my cats in a fight, I'd use my cat's carcass to beat the shit out of that spider. Actually, I wouldn't. I don't really harm any bugs, Mosquitoes, yeah. But a apart from that, I try to throw them out peacefully, you know. Now what my cats do, well, that's just nature, so, you know, I don't feel bad about that. I might point them at the right direction at times, but, you know, other than that. But arachnophobia.
There's a rumor going around that some kind of spider might have killed Sam Metcalf. Doubtful.
I love that movie. It's so great. As a kid, I do remember watching that movie all the way through, but I didn't see like every scene, because like most of these movies, I watched them all from behind the couch, like, you know, I was like peeking there. Fuck that. Nope. So yeah, I'm sure I missed a lot back then. But as an adult, I watched it from TV a time or two, but I haven't watched it in years now. I did, however, watch movie reactors. I love watching movie reactors, you know. There are a couple of good ones I really like to follow. There are a lot of kind of shitty ones too, who are kind of half bored, or then there are this kind of Disney trend where they're way too into it, you know, like some, hi, I'm glad you're here, please subscribe, please like, you know, those kind of people. So, but yeah, as I watched one reaction to arachnophobia, just like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I actually had fucking nightmares that night about spiders. Growing up, I had terrible arachnophobia. I live in Finland, so it's not like we have those horse-sized spiders they have in Australia. And for the love of God, keep them there. Nobody ever bring them to mainland. Please. I don't know how you people survive out there. I'd be carrying shotgun all the time, or flamethrower, and driving a tank. But I'd have to scrub that tank every time I enter it, just so it doesn't have fucking horse-sized spiders in it. But yeah, as a kid, my arachnophobia was just off the charts. When I watched Arachnophobia the movie, it was so goddamn scary, especially the ending where there's a lot of spiders coming. Oh, that was bad. I kept having nightmares, kind of like Jaws, but not about sharks. It was about spiders. Would be weird if it was shark nightmares after spider movie. Shark spiders? That sounds like one of those low-budget sci-fi craps sci-fi channels doing these days, or has been doing for the last, 20, 30 years? I don't know. We don't get that channel here. But yeah, at the same time, it's also so entertaining and kind of funny movie. John Goodman's character as the exterminator.
Rock and roll.
He's fucking awesome. Also, Julian Sands, who is so underrated as an actor. Well, now he's dead, unfortunately, but I did my Warlock review, and he was the Warlock in those. Love the guy. Great actor. But it's spiders. Yeah, it's... As a kid, if there was even a tiny spider like this walking on my hand, I would fucking freak out. I would chop off my hand and burn the stump. Okay, that's bullshit. I didn't have machete, so that's why I still have 2 hands. They said I was too young to carry one. Fucking adults put my life in a risk, don't give me any way to defend myself against those 8-legged freaks. Thanks, Mom. But I kinda got over it for the most parts, because I was working in this field and there were these raspberry bushes. When it was like August, September, it was fall, so we had to tie those up. You just had to put your hands in there and tie them up, and they were full of spiders. I had 2 choices. I could scream like a little girl and quit. I think I was like 18, 19 around there. That would have hurt my male ego a bit too much those days. So I took the first option and I just put on gloves, put on a shirt that has long sleeves, and got drunk and did my job. Okay, I didn't get drunk, but I did my job. So, and after doing that, having fucking spiders hanging from my goddamn head all the time, I'm not that scared of them anymore. But like I said, I watched Arachnophobia reaction, movie reaction from YouTube just like 2-3 weeks ago, and I had the worst goddamn spider nightmares that night. I don't know, it just triggered something from childhood, I guess, but sometimes I do get those still. It's usually when I watch spider shit. Anyway, those were 5 movies that scarred me for life, well, almost for life, as a kid. And yeah, kind of fucked up a lot of things for me. So that was the video for this time, so fuck off, and I'll fuck off too, and let's meet back here when I upload more crap. You know, some other video, who knows what, some other childhood traumas. This is kind of like therapy, but it's free. Great. Except my therapists are all the people online. Well, if you don't pay for it, you get the shits. I don't know, maybe there's actual therapists watching. Give me some hints. Am I cuckoo? Goodbye.